Hello? Are you there? I know I am. Oh, it's been so long, I don't remember what I'm doing. Who's gonna be the first person here? I bet it's gonna be... I don't actually know. Let me grab that live stream link. Share. Share. Posting it to stream announcements. Actually, we're gonna post it to @everyone because I don't care. Everyone. Mr. Moo is back. How are you? Boop. Hello, hello. Yes, the skin is looking very clean. I wonder who made it. Whoever did, they did a great job. A stream element spot. I'm doing better myself. I just got to get back into the flow of things is all. In the flow of coding. Hold on. Boop. All right. Is that gonna share? Or is that not the real live stream link? There it goes. Okay. I got it posted in the Discord. Welcome, everybody. Today, I'm going to be, you guessed it, streaming. But what am I going to be doing? Well, I haven't fully decided yet. Because I did randomly have an idea. I was going to work on the MHA add-on, but I kind of want to save it for a video. So I don't really want to show you guys exactly. Maybe a sneak peek in the middle of the stream or something. But there's a video for it coming out. I think today I'm going to kind of work on... I had an idea to help make making Palladium add-ons easier. So I might be going for that, which is a complete side tangent. As you all now know, I'm very good at getting distracted. Very good at it. Which isn't great, but oh well. Get back to grinding. I am. This is what I... Wait, no! You're right. Oh my gosh, Vitamix is right. I have to play Minecraft. There's no need to be doing any of this coding stuff. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's Peep the new skin for all the My Hero people. So here's the deal with the My Hero add-on. So I was gonna do a nice little like cinematic video showcasing which you probably all know is the next quirk because you can see it in my Discord profile. However, for whatever reason, the thing that I would use to record the video, it doesn't work well with the quirk. So you can't really see it. I could use the replay mod. I just don't like the replay mod, and I don't really know how to use it very well. So it's just going to have to be a regular devlog showing what's all happening for that, unfortunately. So that's kind of sad, but on the bright side, actually there is no bright side. I lied to you, but whatever. Let's see. Why is my display capture? It's not capturing the display. That's the wrong one. This one? There we go. The whole teaser puzzle is out then? I don't know. It's fine, basically. No one got it anyway. Exactly. No one understood. Your puzzle, so it's fine. Let's see. I want to make this bigger. Um, where's the preferences? Oh, it's down here. I need to make this bigger so I can see it. Oh wait, that's what Control Plus does. There we go. Hey, is that Pacquiao or is that just a different Pacquiao? Hi, Michael. How are you? I'm doing good. So today, it's gonna be kind of like just a Q&A. You can ask me whatever you want since I've been gone for a while. But I'm gonna be working on extension or an extension for VS Code here. And the reason is because it will make it easier to learn and use Palladium. Because I've been doing some teaching of people how to use Palladium, but the problem is that I guess it's not as straightforward as I think it is when it comes to things like adding abilities. So what I kind of want to do is make an extension for VS Code here that is going to allow us to just insert in abilities straight from the ability file that gets registered. So in Palladium, if we go to the this thing, if we go into the mods folder, into documentation, so we have all of these HTML files. If we open these in an actual browser, so like if I open it with, why don't I have, okay, whatever. 1 second, let me open it with this mods, documentation, Palladium, abilities.html. We're going to open this with Google, Microsoft Edge. So we have this here, all of these abilities that you can use. And so some people don't know what this is or what these are or how to use them, but the idea is I want to have VS Code be able to use IntelliSense and autocomplete to kind of pull in these examples. So for example, if I wanted to add in this, leaking some of the Black Whip abilities. Oh no. Guys, don't scroll back. For example, if I wanted to use this charged punch, then I could just start, say I want to do like typing in here. If I go back, scroll, decay here. So say I wanted to create a dummy ability here. Instead of having to type all this out or go into the documentation, I would literally just do just type in Palladium dummy like this, and then it would autocomplete just the basic stuff. So that would help people who are starting out. It would help them to not make it so ugly, because it's kind of hard to keep track of the curly braces sometimes, I guess, and knowing some of the fields. So we're going to try, and I'm going to try to make I think it's called a language server for VS Code, which should allow us to do that. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try. Is that HTML posted somewhere? So the HTML gets generated whenever you have a Palladium add-on, so whenever you have the Palladium mod. So it's inside of the mods folder, inside of this documentation, there's this Palladium folder, and in there is all of the auto-generated HTML files for the abilities and conditions and stuff. The problem is we need to go from this to a language server, or this to like snippets and stuff that you can just autocomplete. Haven't seen too much. Yeah, I was thinking maybe I should just do, so what I need to do is post a lot more videos, because, well, yeah, you all know why. I need to post a lot of videos. But I'm thinking maybe I'll just straight up do Palladium tutorials to get some things out there. I think that might be a good idea. Will you be coding custom animations for the moves? Eventually, yes. The Blockbench, I don't know how to use too well, but I'll figure it out. I found Non-scoreboard abilities hard to figure out. The non-scoreboard abilities? So like commands abilities? Or are you just saying anything that doesn't use? True, we have Mr. Move for animations. Yeah, some of the powers are gonna have animations. Okay, so yeah, I think we should do this. The first thing I need to do though is figure out how to get started and what the best thing is. So we're gonna be doing some research, and by research, I'm gonna say we're going to ChatGPT. Why? Because it's easy to get not started, but to figure out what exactly we need. So let me put this over here. ChatGPT.com. Stay logged out. We don't need to log in. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out exactly, because there's two things we can do. There's a language server for VS Code, and there is a snippets. The problem with snippets is I don't think we can, I don't think it can be dynamically changed. I think you hard code in snippets, but what we want is we want these HTML files here. We want it to rip out all of the fields in here and then use those for the autocomplete. And I've only done a VS Code extension once before, so I don't really know where to start. So we're going to do a quick little example or quick little research here. What quirk do I think I'll do next? I'm going to probably do a fire or an ice quirk. So I am wanting to add functionality to VS Code. I want to make an extension that will scrub through an HTML file, locate the different abilities and ability example snippets as well as documentation, and then provide that to the user who is coding things. Here is an example of the HTML file, so you can tell me if it is possible to extract this and make it useful, maybe? So I'm going to just give it this whole abilities file and see what it does. Oh, just kidding. It does not want me to give it this whole ability file. So we're going to open it up in VS Code here. We're just going to grab a section of it, because if we give it all of this, when you're talking to ChatGPT, you do not want to give it, how many lines is this? 19,000 lines of code? No, we're not doing that. What we do need to do, though, is if we go and find just a single ability, like here, it looks like all of them are in divs. And also this auto-generated HTML is horrible. But here we go. So the abilities that are used are located in a single HTML file, and they have divs like this. Is it possible to extract these and provide them as snippets or IntelliSense? It's probably going to say yes. I would go crazy with an ice arm now that I know I could add modeled spikes. Yeah, you could add modeled spikes. Overusing the moves should make them get hypothermia. Yeah, there's going to be some downsides, some freezing yourself or stuff like that. What quirks are being made this stream? This stream, we're not making any quirks yet. We're going to be doing something that helps people make add-ons easier. And this is exactly why I hate doing VS Code add-ons. Look at this. This is just annoying. I hate it. But we're going to do it because it's going to make it easier for not only me, but the people that I've been teaching how to use Palladium. So, yeah, although it wouldn't make it easier for me because I can copy paste correctly. I'm not refining my add-on. I'm refining like the workflow for it. Halfway through this stream, I will do I can do a little reveal of the quirk that I've been working on. I haven't been putting too much time into it recently because I've had a lot of stuff to do. All right, so it's feasible, allegedly. Each ability is wrapped in a this, and yep, we have the header, the table with all the information, and then a JSON snippet, which is good because we need to extract that. So it looked at here. If we scroll down here to, if I just search JSON snippet, right here, we can see for this Blackwick bubble shield, the snippet here is the part of the code here where it shows the actual example. So this snippet is something that we want to pull in order to, or just pull it directly into here. So we got that, which is good. It's very easy to parse into structured JSON data. Once parsed, you can use a VS Code's API to provide all this stuff, which would be good if we can get error checking and validation for Palladium stuff, because that would be awesome. So load the HTML and parse it. You can use any HTML parser using Node. Bleh. And then it's looking like it's just it's sorting by the divs and then just pulling out all of the information about it. Then use this to create a VS Code IntelliSense. My one thing is, I don't know if this is done. A hover provider would be good. A snippet provider. Validation. Parse the HTML once on extension activation. Reparse it. When it changes, parse inside a web worker language server. For best performance in large files. Okay, so I want to do this as a language server. Beep, beep, beep. Look at this. It can generate a full working VS Code extension template. I don't want to have it do it. I don't want to have it do everything, but like at the same time, I need to stop procrastinating things. I want to go the route of a language server. So can you give me the template extension for that and explain how to run it? Smiley face, because we gotta let it know that we're having fun. I've only written a VS Code extension once before, and it wasn't fully mine. I went through GitHub, and there was a different extension for, it was RST, or RST parser, but it didn't work, so I had to fix it, and I was able to do that. But that was 2 years ago, so I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. We're going to find out, though. Let me put this in the right folder. We'll put this in my working drive, programming, new. I'm going to call this Palladium extension. And open this folder. I trust the authors. I am the author. Am I back for good? Yes and no. Like I'm not currently in a place that distracts me from making videos. So I'm going to try to make as many as I can while I find a job. I would imagine reputation would be cool eventually, but not planned until at least a whole bunch of... Yeah, I'm trying to get the quirks done first. All right, ChatGPT, what do we say? We have a client in a server folder, and it uses TypeScript, which is not good because I don't 100% know TypeScript too much. And then, of course, the package.json file. the client extension, and that's all starting the server. All these files. Okay, how to run this. Install all of these dependencies. I think I have that. Ooh, I hate npm so much. Okay, we can do this. All we have to do is follow the very clear steps. Very clear. First thing, let's make some folders. So we're going to make a new folder for client and a new folder for server. Inside of the client folder, we need a folder for the source files. And inside of that, we have a new file called extension.ts. Again, ts is TypeScript. Main file for client. And we also need, inside of the client, a new file for package.json, which is what gets read for when you actually deliver it, so the name of it, that sort of stuff. And then the stupid TypeScript config folder, or file. Oops. Rename. TS config. Then inside of the server, we have a new folder for source. Again, this is not going to be fully a Palladium stream today. It's Palladium related, but it's not going to be MHA or too MHA related. So if you have questions, you can ask, and I'll answer them. Package.json. I don't know why we need two package.jsons and two TypeScripts configs. .ts. Is there going to be a rarity quirk attachment? Because some quirks are going to be weaker or stronger. Or if you're going to be balanced root. A rarity? You mean are some quirks going to be more rare than others? Is that what you're saying or asking? Because the answer is yes. Some quirks will be rare than others. Package.json. This one's optional, allegedly. But we'll do it. Remember, JSON files are always around the 2 quotes here. What is this for? Is this for Claude or something? I don't have Claude. All right, so we need a name. We're going to give it the Palladium Sense. That's what we're going to call this, the Palladium Sense extension. Private, we're going to make this true, and workspaces is equal to client and server. This is allegedly optional, but we're going to keep it anyway. Should make a chance to spawn with quirk system. I'll do that after this, maybe. Okay, the client package.json. We need a name. Name. It's going to be the same name that I gave this one, which is the Palladium Sense. And display name. Palladium IntelliSense. I think it's called a language server, but whatever. Version 0.0.1. Publisher. That's going to be me. Although I think this is supposed to be an A. I think that's from GitHub. Engines is where you decide what version of VS Code it's going to use. And I don't know if this is the latest. Oh, here we go. 1.22 is the default value. I don't know what the latest one is. We're going to do 1.85. Dun, 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 dun. I guess we need a categories. This is going to be programming languages because it's technically its own. Activation events. This is what oops, this is what tells it when this extension is going to run. So it's whenever we have a JSON file open, and we're going to do on startup finished. So when it's done loading VS Code for the first time. Is that a dancing toothless? Yes, it is. He's just vibing. Main folder, oops. Main folder, we're going to do ./out/extension.js. Contributes. Languages. You don't really have to know what I'm doing now. I'm just doing a bunch of... Okay, well, I'm just copying from ChatGPT here. We're just setting up the initial information for the extension. Why is this selected? Aliases. Abilities, JSON. We're setting up the extension so that it can actually run, and you'll see what it's like when it's running. Extensions.json. We only want it to run for JSON files, because otherwise, if it runs for everything else, it wouldn't work, and people would get confused. Looking forward to how you do an eraser quirk, and we'll most likely have to add custom consumable item like eye drops. That's actually fun. So as far as I've seen, it's inspired by MVC Heroes and has powers like stockpile and time space. What are you talking about? Or are you talking about the rarity thing still? TSC-B. What does that do? I don't know. I don't know what this line does. I don't know what this line does. TSC. I think these are commands for TypeScript compiler. Oh, I guess it's debugging. I don't know. Dependencies. VS Code language. Client. I wish I could listen to music, but every time I listen to music, I get copyright striked. And I don't want to do that again. 9.0.1. Okay, that should be that one. And we need to do the tsconfig file. We're not typing all this out. We're just going to do this. Boop. This might be able to upgrade to 2020 for this version. Open. Let's pull this here. Let's see. 2024. Modern browsers support ES6. It goes up to 2024, but we'll keep 2020 for now. If it doesn't work, then I'll change it. All right, so now we can do this to start the actual language server. Listen to John Michael Howell's Hero Song. It's really good. I may just do that. For TypeScript, is this in the server file? Yeah. TypeScript is kind of like JavaScript, but it's typed, which means that variables no longer are just like in JavaScript, you just have let and then it's some value. So like let variable equals, like you can set it to 2, or you can set it to true, or you can set it to random letters. In TypeScript, it actually is typed, meaning it has a concept of what the value is. So if you said let some number equal 2, but then you try to do number equals this, you can see it gets mad because the variable num is already assigned to a number, so it has to maintain that. So that's good for helping spot errors and because of typing. But we're going to import VS Code here. This is probably going to get mad because it couldn't find it. We'll have to run the npm command to install that library. But then we're going to import a bunch of other stuff that's just for from this VS Code stuff. So we're going to do the language client options. We're going to do server options and transport kind. And this is coming from the VS Code language client / node. That's another import statement. Again, it doesn't know where this is from because we have to run the command. But we're going to create a new language client and export function activate. I believe the activation function is what is ran when the VS Code extension turns on for the first time. So you kind of think of it as like your main function. You do things. So we're going to do Palladium sense is active. Also, TypeScript uses semicolons. So don't get confused. What's my favorite arc in MHA? I like the Vigilante arc. That one's my favorite. VSCode.uri.join path. Context.extension is URI server out. Again, don't 100% know what I'm doing with this part of it. But once it gets running, then that should be relatively simple what to do next. We're going to create a constant for server options, and we're going to say it's a type of server options. But anyone know any protagonist that uses crystal powers? Maybe because I'm a fan of that power. Crystal powers. You mean like Diamond Head from Ben 10? Ben 10 reference? Module, server module, transport kind, .ipc, again, no idea. I think this is just running the run options. Module, server module, transport kind .ipc, comma, options, execute argv -- no lazy, comma, -- inspect equals true. Oh no. Inspect equals 6009. We're copying the rest of this. I don't know what I'm typing it out. We're copying the rest of this. This is going to watch for HTML files that change. So the idea is that we're going to have HTML files inside of the thing. All of our abilities are in the HTML file. So we're going to watch for them to change, and when they do change, we send an event back to update the value. And then some other stuff. We're going to call this Palladium language server. And then we start. And then we have the deactivate function, which is just explained what shuts it off. Oops. I'm going to copy this and paste it. There we go. This might be because we don't have the correct thing. All right, we're going to go to the server package. We're just going to copy this. We're going to paste it. Oh, server package. Boop. Paste. Abilities language server. Palladium language server. 0.0.1. All the correct versions of that. The TS config for the server. Boop. Boop. Why is it mad? Oh, because I did .ts, this needs to be a .json file. Okay. And then we have the source server.typescript. Again, we're just going to copy this code because it's a lot. It's a lot. We just want to see if this is going to work. It's mad because we're missing dependencies, but it should be good. This is where you will load and parse your HTML files. So it's using this one for an example. Okay, so let's do this. So we got to install our dependencies. So Control-Shift tilde to open up this. We need to do npm install. Good. Then npm install -w client. npm install -w server. And then npm run run watch -w client. Wait. Compile -w client. Compile failed with errors. tsc-b not found. TSC is not. See ya, Titus. Thanks for stopping in. TSC not found. Oh, it's because we don't have. We didn't install TypeScript on this computer. So we're going to install TypeScript. There we go. So now if I run TSC, it should work. Yeah. So I was going to run the compile client W. Still failed. It's because we don't have the VS Code dependencies. So we're going to have to install those. So I think it's just npm install. I thought it would have installed them automatically. Oh, wait. I might have just spelled this wrong. From VS Code. Import this as VS Code from VS Code? Is that the problem? Whoa, cannot find names. Whoa, look at all these errors. Jeez. Cannot find module VS Code. What is the problem here? So this is fine. Yeah, that's where I am. All right, let's do CLS. We'll just run the commands again. We're going to do npm install. Up to date. npm install -w client. npm install -w server. Then we're going to try the npm run compile -w client. Come on, man. Just work. I don't know what the crystal users really is. I don't know what that means. Not really sure. Why is this not cannot find? No problem. We're just gonna Google this error. We gotta make sure our package is correct. Ensure VS Code is installed. So can I do this? I'm just gonna I Googled this command. Now let's see if we can compile. Nope, same problem. Oh no, it's a different problem. Cannot find type definition file for node. Where's that at? Or is it because cannot find type definition file for node? Reference types, that doesn't tell us where. I think my node is installed, isn't it? Oh, it is. We'll see. Node-v. We're at node 22, so that should be working. Well, let me just copy this error and also paste it into Google. Typically occurs in TypeScript products when the TypeScript compiler cannot locate the necessary stuff. Install Node.js as a type definition. Another command. We're just going to run it blindly. And now compile. Oh, we almost got... Look at it. Now it's just this error. We almost got past it. Little Toothless is dancing on the console. You want to move over, buddy? Doot, 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 doot. And also, I can probably zoom in once. Boop. Maybe twice. It's a little big. Maybe a little too zoomed in. Okay, so what was the error this time? Property for each in linked map. I don't even think I use a for each in this. Oh. Or maybe it's just mad because it doesn't have this. Let's copy this. And let's put it in the console as a dependency. Install types. Is that gonna work? Nope. I don't remember how to start a VS Code thing. Ruh-roh, Raggy. We gotta break out the big guns. Boom. Bum, 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 bum. Minecraft. I promise we're gonna get to some sort of Minecraft related stuff. Just give me a few seconds. A few seconds. And when I say seconds, I mean a few minutes. And when I say a few minutes, that might mean more than an hour. Reference to your UI, Shaggy, for sure. Exactly. That's exactly what I was referencing. Working drive programming. Palladium extension. Okay. All right, we're breaking out the big guns here, and by that I mean we're gonna open up Cursor, which is a thing that's got ChatGPT 5.1. So we're gonna switch it to agent mode, and this is basically cheating, but I don't know how to get this started, so we're gonna be cheating. This is supposed to be a VS Code language server extension that will dynamically search HTML files for information and then populate snippets and autocomplete. I cannot get it to even run, though, as this example. So can you get this template up and running? Again, this is basically cheating, but I don't know how to make VS Code extensions fully. So we're gonna do a little You're just using your available resources. Exactly. It's like passing it on to the intern. Look at this little star emoji. I didn't know you could put stars. What the intern's doing right now is it's just reading through all of our config files and it's going to figure out where I messed up. And then it's just going to probably try to run the setup commands that I was running here and failing to do these this npm install -w or no npm compile run compile command. It's gonna try to fix this. Hey Scary, how are you? I'm currently working on a Palladium extension for VS Code that will allow people to make Palladium add-ons easier. All right, so we can see, look, it's asking to run some commands. So if I actually zoom in, it's asking to run some commands. So we're just going to allow it to do. It's going to go into this folder here. That's what the CD means. It's really important that you pay attention to what it's running here, because if you don't, you could delete it. But here it's trying to install npm. We already ran that, but it's going to do it again anyway. I just started to learn to code Palladium literally yesterday. Well, lucky for you, there might be some tutorials eventually. The next command it's trying to do is run compile -- workspace server. That's exactly what we were trying to do, except we did -w. And it's going to see the exact same error that we got, and it's going to maybe more correctly figure out what's happening. I don't know exactly what it's going to figure out the problem is, because I can't really tell, because it looks like a lot of jumbo to me, a lot of garbage, mostly because I'm thinking it's missing dependencies is what's happening, but I'm not 100% sure, because again, I don't really use npm or TypeScript, so it's going to do something. We're going to figure out what. While it's processing, though, I just would like to say I am working on a new video series that is just playing Minecraft. So it's not necessarily a devlog or anything, but it's a like SMP sort of deal. So I put some work into that, and I've got a bunch of videos being recorded on that. So, or a bunch of footage at least. So I'm gonna try to make it into a fun little series. I know a lot of the people that watch my stuff are mostly looking for devlogs, but I want to do some other stuff that's not. Yeah, it's a fully modded. It's a custom mod pack, custom world. It's pretty fun so far. Very challenging. So we can see, if we're watching what it's doing over here, it did not figure out what the problem was right away. In fact, it ran into some more errors. And so now it's going to try and fix things. It made one change. It looks like it just added in some changes to the import statements. So we're going to hit run to see if that fixed its problem. Oh, and it did actually run. Okay, now we're going to try to compile the client. That ran too. Okay, it might have fixed it. Confirm edit of launch.json. I don't know. Sure, go ahead. The launch file doesn't really matter. Task.json, go ahead. It's creating new files. These two files are for, I believe it's just to help it run, but we'll take a look at them. It's processing. I don't know if I said this. Yes, it is a modded playthrough. You should help him out or them out. Yeah, getting together and working on Palladium add-ons is fun. I'm helping a few other people work on Palladium add-ons. or teaching them how to do it. So that's pretty neat. All right, it finished up. Let's see what it did. If we take a look at these files, it should, okay, I didn't set up a Git repository, so it doesn't actually tell us what changed. So we're gonna have to go up here and review. It's always really good, make sure you review the changes that this stuff is doing, because if you don't, it could really screw up your code. This is too zoomed in, I can't see. Zoom out. All right. So here are the changes to the client extension.typescript file. The first thing it did was added in the path import statement. And then it looks like it deleted our server module definition and just replaced it with an absolute path. So before it was using this join path and getting the extension URL and then combining these things here. But instead, it is switching it to an absolute path, which you can kind of think of it as like a hard-coded path. But in this case, it's just hard-coded relative to where the extension is. So that's what the dot means. It just means wherever the current thing is extension is running, then go through and grab the server, the out, and the server.js. So that was all it changed there. For the server, it added in a few more import statements, and it reset up the definition of a text document. So it looks like we just didn't declare it correctly, I guess. And then it's changing the sync type here to a sync type that actually exists. And I guess it was a little outdated when we tried to use the other version. And then it created a function called extract word, which is just going through and pulling out, using a little bit of irregular expression to pull out what I would assume is the chunk of the HTML file that has the information. The rest of the files, it looks like, is just a few configuration things. So adding in the skip library check, and then it added in this launch file. This, I believe, gets ran when you press the play button. The tasks file is just to define the different tasks that VS Code can do. So in this case, there's 3 of them. There's watching the client, watching the server, and watching all. You can kind of think of them as quick plays, essentially. And then added in a README telling us how to actually put stuff together. So here is launching the extension, and here's an example of what it's doing. So open any JSON file inside the extension development host window, type part of black whip detach and completions, and see if it works. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to test to see if this is actually doing it. And so to run it, we have to run the F5. And let me make sure. Okay, it was still on. Boop. We have to hit the F5 key inside of the client, I believe. Yeah, let's just hit F5. And now it is running it in watch mode. There we go. And this is what I was expecting it to do. What it has done is it has opened up a new instance of VS Code. And that's because the extension is running in the background here, and you can think of it as making a brand new VS Code, but this one has the actual stuff in it. Looks like it is spamming a lot of things, but we're just going to ignore that. We're going to open up my development environment for VS Code, and we're going to open up a JSON file, so like this decay file. And it's initializing, so we're going to wait for it. Down on the bottom, you can see it says initializing, so we're going to wait for that. And it is doing a lot of errors. I don't think these are because of me, though. I think these are just normal errors. We can see it says Palladium Sense is active, which is good. We just have to wait for it to be done initializing. Okay, it initialized, but it does not have any of the JSON things. It doesn't have any of the JSON formatting, which isn't good. But let's try to do an ability. So if I start to type allegedly, What is I supposed to type? I'm supposed to type in, look at that README. If you type part of black whip detach. So if I do black whip, black whip detach. Okay, so we can see something is clearly not right. It isn't working. The placeholder data lives in server source server.ts and can be replaced. Okay, so yeah, this is not working. If we look here, does it say there's some errors? Oh, config.yaml schema, most likely YAML extension is not installed. That's fine. This, I don't think that's an actual problem. Okay. I have no idea what the problem is here. So we're going to stop with this stop key. This should have deleted, yep, it deleted the other one, or removed the other window. We need to figure this out. And when I say we, I mean the intern. We're going to make the intern do it. So we'll tell it, so the extension runs, as I can see, Palladium sense active in the log. However, it's so real. It's so different in the code from Palladium. Oh, you're talking about the Fisk stuff. Seems to be an issue. Not only does typing in black whip detach not do anything, it also seems that the JSON formatting that was provided by a different extension is no longer working either. So all the color coding of the JSON file was removed. I don't think this is working at all. We'll try that and see what I can find. Once we can get to the point, though, where it's actually running and showing us the autocomplete, then I'll be able to add in some of the logic for the HTML parsing. Let's see, it wants to run it itself. It probably doesn't believe me that it's not working. So let's do that. That black whip can be done like venom tentacles from Fisk. Well, I mean, like, I could technically look at how Fisk did it, but I would have to add in a whole bunch of new stuff, and I don't really want to. Let's see. Removing our language contribution fixed both symptoms. We were registering a new language for every JSON file, which hijacked VS Code's built-in JSON grammar and set the language ID to abilities JSON. That killed syntax coloring from ever matching. So it no longer declares a custom language and rebuilt the client. So we're going to retry. So if we go back into here, press F5, this relaunches it. Okay, we got our colors back. Good. Let's try to do black whip detach. Okay. Wait. Request complete function failed. What do you mean it didn't work? So it's showing up here, but it's failing still. So we're going to copy this. We're going to go and look here and see what it's saying in this list. Document not found in AST tracker. So I don't think it's working. We're going to do this. That fixed the coloring and the black whip detach option does show up. However, it does not complete anything except just the word black whip detach. I do get an error called this. It should be making a snippet after accepting it. I'll see. We'll see what that says. Again, it's not cheating. It's just slowly learning. Run. It inserted just a little bit of oh. It's mad. It better fix itself. Compile again. You can do it. Oh, it's possible the example wasn't even doing it. All right, let's test this out. We go back to here, back to here. We do restart. Womp. Starting inspector. If I do black whip detach, if we hit tab, okay. I'm not liking this. I don't know why it's doing that, but it is starting to do this a little bit. I bet we can fix this one on our own because we're smart. If I make this a little smaller, too big. So if I go to, I think it's in the class server. Boop. So here it's saying the ability, and here's all of the stuff for it. Like that tab. That tabbing is crazy. Oh, it literally just did this. So if we just replace this with like the default, so like 1 power cooldown of 10, and then restart. If we go back to here, so now the idea is you say, oh, I want to make a new ability. I'm going to call this ability detach. And what do I want to equal to? Well, I don't know. How about just black whip? Hello? Black whip detach. There we go. Boop. Boom, look at that. See, isn't that so much easier than having to figure out all of these things? For some people, it is. So this is good. Have I heard of the Mine Hero RX, an old MHA mod being remade? Kind of, maybe. I don't know. I don't really look at other MHA mods, so I can't be accused of copying if I never see them. Oh. All right, so that's kind of working, actually. But the only issue is this is hard-coded in. So pretty much what we do is if we come down here, it's the hovering tooltip. Is it up here? Yeah, this. Because I think it's searching for the name, or is it on the client side? Boop. It is on the client side. No, it's not. Where's it at? Source. That's the outputted. Is it just this name? It might be just this name. I don't know how to, where's it? Yeah, here we go. Here on completion. So it grabs the name of the thing that we're completing, and here's where it hovers over it. Okay. So the problem is this is hard coded. What we need to do is make it so that it actually extracts from the HTML directly. So again, if we look inside of here, inside of the mods folder, which is here, inside of mods, we have documentation, Palladium, and all of these HTML files. That's where we want to get it. What was your reaction to Bakugo's explosion awakening and we try to recreate in the game or not? Well, my reaction was that it was awesome, but will I try to recreate it? Yes and no. I'm not 100% sold on how I'm currently doing, like, awakenings of just leveling them up. I want to try to do some sort of condition for awakening. But I will definitely have, like, stronger versions of each powers that people can get. So in Bakugo's case, blowing up his insides to zoom faster. I'll definitely try to do that. We need to save this to GitHub, actually. So we're going to do this. And we're going to do this. We're going to say add existing repository. And we're going to choose... I think it's in VM drive. Nope, it's not in there. Is it in my programming drive? Probably. Programming is in this one. Programming, Palladium extension. Select folder, add repository. This is not a repository. Let's create a repository. We're going to call this Palladium language server extension. Description, a language server to automatically produce snippets for Palladium add-ons. Initialize this project with a README. Get ignore is Node or TypeScript. We should just do Node. Is there a T? LMNOPQRST. T. There is not. So we're just going to do a Node. Ignore. It was literally, there it is. Okay, Node license, all rights reserved. Or wait, I want people to use this in my T. Create repository. There we go. Now we can keep track of everything. And that should ignore the node folder. This will allow us so that if we make bad changes, we can easily fix it. So we want it to read from here. Again, I think we're just going to speed it up, you know. Let's just, oh, that's toothless. And that's also toothless. There we go. We're going to keep all. And what quirk am I working on? I'm not working on a quirk right now. I'm actually working on an extension for VS Code that will allow people to more easily create abilities or Palladium files. So just a quick little recap, I guess. For example, you say, I want to have a new ability here. We'll just call it detach. And then I can actually literally just do this and autocomplete in the ability. So that's something that would be very, very helpful for many people, especially because a lot of people don't know how to keep their curly brackets balanced. So this will help out a lot. This is so bad. I just kind of want to vibe code the whole thing, you know. Okay, we'll do one more step. All right. This is also just me being lazy, by the way. I want it to now dynamically read the ability of the HTML files inside of the same directory inside of the mods folder. Conditions, abilities. Have you made any quirk that wasn't in the previous devlog? Yes, I have. It's going to be in /mod/documentation/Palladium. I want it to dynamically read the HTMLs in the /mods/documentation/Palladium folder. You can expect this folder to be inside of the developer's workspace. The first file inside this should be S2 parse would be the ability.html file. This has the information of all the abilities that can be created, and all of them should have autocomplete capabilities. The example abilities.html for reference is located in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it the abilities file just so it can see exactly what it's doing or what it's working with. So we're just going to write new folder, just call it examples and paste. So now it's inside of here, located in at abilities. In examples directory I just added. It should also be keeping track if this file changes to keep the most updated JSON snippets. All right, we'll see what that does. Again, this is me being super lazy, but then again, I need to do this fast so that you people don't go crazy with me doing another side project, because you know me, like to do all sorts of side projects. While this is loading in the background, I'm going to take this time to give a little sneak peek. A little sneak peek of the new quirk. How about that? Since you want to see it so badly, we'll just do a little peek. Say 1 in the chat if you want to see a sneak peek. And it helps with burnout. It helps me with distracting. I said push 1 in the chat. Oh, Mr. Moo does not want to see a sneak peek, everybody. So sorry. We're going to have to cancel it. He doesn't want to see. He doesn't want to see anything. Okay, if we get 4 1s, then I'll do it. We need 1 more 1. Blame Mr. Moo. He did a 2. Mr. Moo, you can change your answer to a 1. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, look at the sunset. It's so pretty with the shader on. 1. Close enough. Okay, here's you guys get. Oh, Mr. Vitamix does not want to see it. Sorry, guys. All right, well, we gave up. We'll just go back to the coding. Nah, I'm kidding. Let me /summon a villager. Unemployed. Just like me. We're best friends. All right, if you hit the first ability key, it whips out a whip. Oh, you saw it. Oh, you saw it. Oh, I missed. There we go. It shoots out the whip from the hip. It's not attached to the hand. You may ask, why is it not attached to the hand? Don't ask, actually, because it looks better if it's not attached to the hand because it doesn't move. But you can whip him up just like Deku. You can be all I don't know what I was going to say. But it's got a little bit of a jiggle to it. You can move him around. You can drag him around, you know, just like Deku would. You can even fly up in the air with him if you really wanted to and dropped him. Boop. Bye. Oh, I tried to save him. I missed. But yeah, the next one is Black Whip. I already teased that, though, so you already knew that. The devlog is going to be out sort of soon. I just have to finish the power tree. You can see it looks very ugly and all over the place. It also doesn't have textures. Blame Mr. Moo. He was supposed to make them, but then he just quit in the middle. Is it going to be a really long one again? No. This is just going to be a short one about Black Whip. Guessing Black Whip and Gene stuff. Yeah, I might talk a little bit about the Gene stuff. Just a little. But I think I'm going to try to get some more quirks out after Black Whip. Like the fire or ice one. Whichever one I feel like doing. The ice one would look really cool, but I think it needs a lot of extra models. No, I'm just joking, Mr. Moo. It's okay. Everyone knows that you're just slacking and you're not doing anything else. I'm sure of it. Whip, 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 whip. I know. I'm just messing with you. Go. Oh, the intern's done coding. Sort of. It's installing. Why is it adding new packages? We don't know. But we're just going to let it do whatever it wants. I need to be able to retire. Yes. That is the dream, isn't it? I had to go AFK. Did I miss anything good? Yes, I was showing you Black Whip. I'll do it one more time just for you, Scary. Whip, 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 whip. Where's my bee? There's my bee. Oh, I got him. See, look. You can now whip out your friends. Whip your friends and take them on. Such a generous guy. I sure am. Eee, look at the bee go. Ooh. Where'd he go? We can take him with me. Come on down. Whee. The bee drowned in the water? It's a lead, but better. Actually. I didn't know bees died in the water. That's very sad. Where's the intern? There he is. Run. That looks sick. Yes, it is very cool looking. There's lots of other abilities for it too, which I'll show in the video. Whoa, does the Palladium, or does the shader render the essential? It does! The shader is rendering the text. A shadow for the text above my head. That is wild. That's not supposed to be like that. Alright, he's done. Do we think it worked? I don't know. Let's just try it first before anything. I'm going to hit stop, and we're going to hit F5. Once again, launches VS Code and VS Code. We still have the text. We have to wait for it to initialize, I think. It should be detecting that we have the mods folder and the documentation. So abilities.html should still be here. We're going to see once it's done loading. I can tell my PC fans are spinning up. All right, it's done. So let's see. Allegedly, if I did test ability, now as soon as I do this, it should let me. Well, it doesn't autocomplete exactly, but if I type in B for Black Whip, look, it has all of them. Pause. Okay, if I type in D for dummy, wow, it's working. Whoa, wait. Render layer by, that's not right. Ability type, this is also not right. it's doing the it's registering them wrong. It's I think it's grabbing all these other files, which is not good. But okay, wait, let's put this back. Let's get rid of this. Let's do a command. If we do Palladium command, look at that. See, isn't this so much easier now than just typing all of this out by hand? Now you just do it. Oh, I want to add in, I want to add in an a decay, environment decay, please. There we go. That's all of the thing. We got to add a comma at the end of it, but that's all of the things for it. I do need to get, I think, a little bit of IntelliSensing here to tell us what these do. Because if we look in this, you can see there's a description for everything. I wish I could just know how all types of code worked just instantly. Well, so I could transfer stuff easily if I wanted to. I don't know 100% what you mean, but if you just practice, eventually you'll get it. Okay, but that's really cool. That's already way step ahead. Let's double check what it's doing so I can explain. If we open up GitHub, we can see exactly the changes. I lied. We cannot see the changes. Oh, wait. So because I didn't apply them. Keep all. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. Why is it not showing up in... Oh, it's because I didn't commit any of these files. That's why. Silly me. Tricks are for kids. We need to add this. Why isn't this registering as a Git repo? Huh? Hold on. Let me reopen it. I didn't do the wrong... Oh, no. Did I do the wrong folder? No, I didn't. There's no Git... Wait a second. I might have done this Git repository in the wrong folder. Open in folder path. Where? What? Here. Reveal in File Explorer. There's no .git. Okay. It made a separate one here. That's not what I wanted. Delete this. I need to put it in this folder. Add, create new repository, Palladium. Actually, wait, I can do it inside of VS Code. So let me do that. Here. If we go into here, initialize repository, Palladium extension, and we do not want all of these node files. So we need a git ignore, which we just right click new file, call it .git ignore. And then we can do ignore the /.vs code. And we want to ignore the node modules. Because you don't want to push all your node modules to GitHub because there's too many of them. We want this, we want these. We want the README. And I don't think I want the out. I don't think we want the out. So let me go back here. So we're going to exclude client /out. And that should make that not green. Perfect. Okay, so now we can do this. We'll call it init commit, which stands for initial commit, by the way. We're going to add all of our changes and commit. Now, if we look here to add existing repository, we go here and choose the Palladium extension folder and open it, add repository. We should be able to see our init commit. There we go. Perfect. So I could between Fisk and Palladium and new things that appear. Oh, I also had a pretty fun game idea, but I can't code the whole game. You can learn how to code. It's not too, well, it is hard, but you can learn how to code eventually. It just takes some practice. All right, so let's take a look at what it did. All of the stuff should be in the server. Oops. I forgot this out file. And I already pushed it, so. Whoops. Whatever. I'll have to get rid of that later. Okay, so into the server.typescript file, you can see it's got a lot of extra stuff in here, and we needed stuff because it is rendering out or parsing out the HTML files, which is pretty neat. So the extract word was already there, documentation summary, reload abilities, resolve abilities, load from file, parsability, HTML is where it's doing the actual parsing of the thing. Did I finish invisibility and small object attraction? I mean, those are both only do one thing, so yes. Fallback. This is for if it fails. What we need to do is add a comma. This is doing a lot of stuff. We're going to add in a comma after it inserts the snippet. So I think it's escape snippet. I gotta find where it's doing the, here we go, build snippet from example. This guy right here, I think I'm gonna default it to having a comma after the end, because right now when we do it, it doesn't have the, it doesn't generate a comma, and I can see people getting confused as to why it's not working. Even though it doesn't make sense that they would be confused, but oh well, you know, to each their own. Okay, so we added the comma. The next thing we should do is we should add in the ability for it to actually correctly view the documentation. So what I mean by that is if I hover over max power of this, it should show me the documentation here. So tell me that it is a float and that the power value is considered 100% scaling. So to do that, we need to figure out how to do the hover. I think that's in/hover. Hover tooltip on hover. It extracts the word that we're hovering over based on the position of our actual mouse. And it goes to find the current ability that it is used for, and then just returns a markdown of it. Which this isn't exactly what we want, because we want it when we're hovering over, if I push F5, when we're hovering over a value here, we want it to locate the, not the ability type, but we want to locate this here Actually, no, it is the ability type. And then once we find that, locate this in the settings, and then find inside of the table the documentation. It only works for a couple, and in fact, it's not really, there we go, type. You can see, because it has the word type, it's searching for ability type, or it's resolving ability type enabled, which is not what we want. And in fact, ability underscore type, yeah, it's doing a condition. This isn't even the conditions. Copy, make a new tab. Ability underscore type enabled. So you can see it's pulling the documentation of this ability when I hover over type, because that's just what it resolves to first. And we don't want it to do that because for one, it should be resolving to this actual type. So it's got to locate the scope that it's in and then return the correct value. And also it has to be exact too. I don't know why it's not exact, but okay, so it's extracting the word, and then yeah, see, this is where it's doing it, is abilities.find. We first check to see if there's an exact copy. So in this case, or in the case of type here, we're checking, is there an ability called type? And if there is, we'll return the correct thing. If there's not, then we default to if it includes the word type. So that's where we're having the issue. We don't want it to just include, because it has to equal the name of the ability, which in this case, it's not even the ability, right? So actually, let me do this. Let me put a breakpoint here, and let me do stop. Can I actually breakpoint here? I don't know. Let me stop. Let me start again. I don't know if I can debug. Maybe. Can I get the value of this? Add to watch. There we go. So now if I go into, no, abilities should actually be available. Hover over type. Abilities should have a value in it. It's not. Okay, it won't let me do that. That's annoying. Okay, debugging isn't as useful in VS Code as I thought it was going to be, or in this instance, which is fine. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. Let's make it so that we'll go back to the intern, since he's doing such a great job, you know. Might as well just force him to do the rest of the work. Basically, inside of the on hover, we need to make it so that instead of resolving to anything, it resolves to the nearest type. So it finds type here. It finds the actual ID of the ability, and then from that, it's going to correctly show the information. Yeah, so that should be good. So what we'll do is we'll say intern. Boop, 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 boo. Let me grab this down here so I can read it. This is great. The one change is that in the connection.onHover of the server.ts, currently it is not looking up the correct value for, I guess, parameters inside the JSON. For example, if I have, and we're going to give it an example of this. quirk here. We're gonna do this actually. And we're gonna, well, wait, let me just do this. Let me make a new one. Command. And then we do command. There we go. So we're gonna say, for example, if I have this, we're gonna give it the full thing. And I hover over the commands, it should go up and check for the type, aka what the ability is. Then it shows the documentation for that is located inside of the table inside the HTML. This will allow the user or the developer to get specific information about the field instead of the full ability description. The ability, yeah. T description should only be shown if the ability key, i.e. Palladium, Palladium command, in this case, is hovered. All right, intern, get to work. Whip it. Basically, what we're saying is instead of right now just looking for the nearest matching thing in the names of the abilities, we're gonna first figure out. Go to the no, that's not what this guy. Too many tabs. Go to the nearest type thing. So move up to find the nearest type. And then from the type, go into the HTML, figure out what that type is, which is in this case is this. And then it's going to find inside of the table the description, the type, and whether or not it's required, I guess. But we don't really need to know if it's required because if it was required, it would be here. And we don't need that. What I would also like to do is potentially add in a autocomplete for this stuff so that it can show you all of the ones that you could have for the ability. So that would be kind of cool too. Let me fill up my drink of water real quick. Let me have Toothless distract you. Mesmerize you, I should say. Here. Oh, he's taking center stage, everyone. Just keep your eyes on the dragon. Let him mesmerize you. In fact, let me put him on party mode because he's having a party. I just gotta walk over here and fill up this water. I'll be right back. Don't leave. Made it back. They want to write the alphabet. Guys, you did it. You can spell the alphabet. Hopefully no one messes you up. Ah, who was that guy? He messed up the alphabet for real. Okay. The time it took to put up Toothless, I managed to go and get my own club. Well, yes, he was, he had to. He's high maintenance. He's going to go listen to his music now. He's just going to vibe out. Music. He's vibing. Mary something something. All right, is the intern done? Nope, the intern's still going. Intern's still going. How's everyone doing today? Good? I am your spirit animal? I don't think that's healthy, but okay. That's okay, as All Might would say. Delete this, because this is not an ability that we want. I could be multitasking, actually, and doing the ability here. FOV is not 90. What's the FOV you guys all play on? If it's anything but 90, you're wrong. So these trees look crazy. I think my spirit animal was exercised. That's unfortunate. Engage with your audience. Start a Q&A. Answer viewer questions live. That's what we're already doing. If you have any questions, by the way, you can just ask them. It's not like an official Q&A, but while the intern is being the intern, watching you being able to run shaders so well kind of hurts. What do you mean? It's not even that bad. It's not even that bad, you know? It's not even that bad. 100 FOV? No, 100 is too much. I know people who play on Quake Pro. That's way too much. Way too much. My PC is made out of metal. Metal. 90. Me when I speedrun. Scanning pearl, boop, 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 oh, oh. I don't know if I've ever beat the game. TMX 2.0 just said 1 in the chat. Does that mean they got to that point where I was... How much do you plan to add on to the MHA mod? As much as I can. I want it to be to a point where people can just add their own things to it, though. So, like, in the event that I fail, which is likely, but in the event that I'm not able to continue, I want people to be able to just add on easily. So, I'm going to try to set up all of the groundwork for that. Or I have been doing the groundwork for that, so... Add-ons for the add-on, as I'd like to say. Okay, well, the intern's almost done, but next time I have to ask the intern to something, I'll work on the randomization, I guess, for the quirks. To be fair, it is hard for many people to maintain a world long enough to beat the game. Yes, the 2-week Minecraft phase is real. When you talked about you applying to jobs and none of them hiring you, it hits so hard with you because no one wants them despite saying they're hiring. Yeah, you know, I don't know what their deal is. Why do they say that they're hiring when they're clearly not? I don't know. It's definitely tough, but you just have to keep attempting. What powers are in the add-on so far? Decay, Permeation Creation, Black Whip, Smoke Screen, Power Stock, and a bunch of other small ones like Invisibility and other stuff. Make a Meowing Milkmaid add-on. No, I won't do that, but I'll teach you how to do that, you know? All right, the intern's done. Let's see what he says. All this information. Sometimes you feel better when you think about how much you're able to do. Basically, the broke Minecraft guy. Yeah, I mean, you can do it. You don't have to have any crazy setup to do Minecraft stuff. Yankleberries, that's a funny name. How rare will one for all be? And possibly rare. What did you miss? You missed nothing. We're just making the intern do all the work, and I take all the credit. Looks like it's going to parse this correctly. All right, let's just see if this works. You know, see if we need to whip the intern for being wrong. F5. First things first, we got to double check that the thing is working. So we're going to do new ability, test, command. And if I do this, it should, and we do command, it's still initializing. Gotta wait. And you also add gamma radiation. I don't know why I would do that. I don't think gamma radiation plays a role in MHA, really. All right, there's command. We hit tab. It fills in the command. It deleted our comma, the one thing I did type in. How am I going to implement shoot style? With legs. With the right mods and configuration, you can run a decent sized mod pack even if you have a mid PC. That is correct. All right, so the test here is if we hover over this, it should say that's wrong. Icon. Ability, Palladium command. Okay, so it's finding the ability. Type, ability color required, no default, this, light source time, changes the color. It's working. Palladium command. Okay, if we come down here, we put this comma. We do type. It says that, perfect. First tick commands. Command function parsing, required no. Default is nothing. Sets the command block. See, isn't this so much nice? Isn't this nice to have? Now we can just hover over things in Palladium add-ons and it Okay, well, it was working and now it just stopped. Wait, why does it only work for this? Hello? It doesn't work for things that exist? Wait, why does it work down here? What? Palladium dummy. It's not working for dummy. But it works here. Wait, what? There it goes. Wait, no. Okay, it's kind of working. Okay, well, it was working, and now it's not. Or it doesn't work for dummy. Does it work for... It works for command. I got a lot of dummies in here. Let's try it. Does it work for the attribute modifier? It does. This is wrong. That's wrong for sure. Real wrong. Hidden. Environment. Okay, so it's sort of working. I don't know why it doesn't work for dummy. I might need to add in some debugging. Let me go back here. Let me push stop. Let me scroll down here. Format ability hover. So here's where we can insert. Hold on. Let me push keep all here. Keep all. This is where we can change the hover. So we don't really need it to say the ability, but we're going to keep that for now just because it tells me if it's working or not. We do need the description, the example, and that stuff, so that's good. Format field hover. Format ability hover. Oh, yeah, that's the ability. This one is for the regular field. So this is where we don't need the ability tag. So I'll remove that. But first, we need to get here. So here's the context. Usually in programming, context means where it's being used. So in this case, it's the context of between two curly braces. That's the context that it looks for. And then it's going to attempt to find the ability or the type field, I guess. And then that corresponds to an actual ability, which is what we want. Property node, object, property. Okay, it added a lot of code. It's a little too much. Let's see. Let's find where it places. Format ability hover. It's not what we want. We want it. I want to autocomplete. Is that in the B? Nope, it's in the server.ts. I just gotta find where it put it. The one downside of not actually doing it, you have a harder time finding things. Is it here? Yes. Wait. Build snippet. Yep. Let me put a comment here. This is where the snippets get added. Snippets get added. What did you think of being in a Doctor Who Minecraft video? I didn't watch the video, but I thought that was cool that they liked, or they watched my video. It was pretty neat, pretty neat. Okay. Here, we need a comma. I don't know, Theory Maker. That sounds like you're making a theory right there. Should make a whole YouTube documentary about it. That shows how good of a Minecraft showcase you are. If only I didn't have to edit my own videos, man. I record so many things. The editing, honestly, is my least favorite part of it. Like, if I didn't have to... And the problem, too, is I yap all the time. So I have hours and hours of footage that I have to edit through. It just makes it even worse. It's terrible. I think I need a comma here too. If I add these commas, it should actually comma correctly, which is very important. I'm pretty sure I need to free up storage space if I want to make it in that too. Like, I have so much space, and even then, look at this. 28 gigabytes free, 0.99 gigabytes free. This is where I was uploading my other videos to, and 62 free. They're all in the red. It's only a matter of time before I fully run out of space. I gotta edit these videos so I can delete them. All right, let's just try to add a new ability here. We're gonna say test something. Test, sure. We're gonna make this a command ability. There we go. It added that, and it put a comma. Don't be jealous. It's mostly just a few pictures of your mom. No, it's all of the footage that I've been recording for the new SMP thing. Yeah, see, but the problem with just streaming on Twitch is that you're not able to... Whoa, it added commas to everything. Why did it do that? But the problem with streaming on Twitch is that the videos are better for helping people, you know? Ow. Ow. Oh, that's because I put that there. That's why. The videos are better for helping people because then they can go back. If I was just doing like game stuff, then I would just do Twitch, but no. Bro's got to be helpful, so. Oh, it is open. All right, we're going to try this again. Test. We want this to be a command. It's still loading. I don't have a laptop or PC to make videos. Well, you can use your phone. There we go. We got a comma. Perfect. And if I hover over this, it should say command, type Boolean, required no, default, false, source abilities.html. And I don't know why this one is on a different line. I need to get these on different lines. Go to the hover. Format. ability hover, I think is what it is. Lines equals this. Joining lines, so it's not that, it's this one. I don't know why it doesn't add new lines here. Constant meta lines. Oh, but it does join them with \n. But if I do a \n, does that make it nicer? Bow, bow. How is the black whip been going? It was showcased. I can showcase it again. 1 second. I just need to test this out. Once it is loaded. Come on, language server. Command. Hover over. Boom, look at that. You need 2 \n's for some reason. Yeah, and once we remove the ability, then that's cool. Yeah, so isn't this nice? This is so much nicer. All right. What we can do now. How would you make all for one balanced? There is no balance. You can just take whatever power you want from people. If you get your power stolen, well, that's just on you. You shouldn't have gotten it stolen, you know? That was being sarcastic, by the way. Being sarcastic. Okay, the next thing, let me add these to GitHub. Boop, 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 boop. What did we do? We made it, made hover for info. Okay, now hover over abilities, over fields. For more info. Maybe a balanced game rule? No, I think I'll have some sort of factor or something that prevents you from getting stolen right away. Default 0 conditions. Source conditions.html. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. Enabling. Also, it doesn't have enabling or unlocking because those aren't real. Okay, so the next issue here is that the some of these are checking the conditions.html when it's an ability. It should only check conditions if it is inside the conditions tag. Because if it's not inside the conditions tag, then it's an assumed inability. Otherwise, it's assumed a condition. So, yeah, I'm going to do that next. Look at all these. I like reading chat because then it's like procrastinating. Do quirks have the same thing where only one person can have that quirk? It'll probably be a game rule for uniqueness. Or maybe trying to steal a quirk that was something. A quirk would be something like a quick time event minigame. Oh, there's going to be some sort of minigame for it. Don't worry. One thing I was thinking is maybe like a battle. You have to battle inside of the quirk realm or something. Have you thought about implementing some support equipment? Yes. The problem is there's only one of me and I procrastinate enough for 10 people. So it will get done eventually. Quirk realm battle sounds lit. Yes. It definitely will be pretty cool. Oh, but that way you can't just steal things from people. They have a chance. You can say it's their willpower or whatnot, but we all know it's not willpower. It's just good PvP skills. Yeah, the arm. All right, I'm just going to give this to my intern. And while the intern works on it, I'm going to work on we'll do the, I guess, the giving the quirk when the player joins for the first time. Might as well, you know. Okay. Let's see. There is a small issue with the hovering. The only when the ability is inside of the abilities, is inside of an outer abilities section, it should be the case that the only auto-completed snippets are coming from the abilities.html. I have other HTML files that are for other purposes, but for defining abilities, it should only look inside of the abilities.html. This also applies to the hover for more information. There is, however, a conditions section that each sub-ability can have. Inside of this is where you can suggest the things inside of the conditions.html. I have attached an example full power file named decay.json in the examples folder that will hopefully give you insight into the structure of the overall power folder. Put the layout in project showcase. What does everyone think? Oh, you're just advertising yourself. I'm kidding. I don't care. That's what that's for. Reveal in File Explorer. No, copy. Copy. Are you making a game or is it just a layout for a game? Mr. Moo. Paste. There, it has an example now, so we'll see what it does. Boop. Good luck. And in the meantime, let me open up IntelliJ and work on that. Probably not going to record anything for it. Oh, I'm going to build an entire rec center for sort of mascot horror type game. That sounds an awful lot like Five Nights at Freddy's. Just saying. I guess I didn't look at it. Let's look at it on stream while this is loading. Sorry, I got random Discord messages. I have to respond to them. No burning, please. Okay, I was looking for the project showcase. If you're not in the Discord, link in the description below. I think the link still works. If it doesn't, let me know. Mr. Moose said this. This is what it's going to look like. 3 floors, a basement, a gym. That looks like a lot of building, Mr. Moo. I hope you're ready to build, because I'm not going to, or I wouldn't enjoy building all that. That's crazy. That's the inspiration, but I want it to be interactive, so you have to go in the office outside across multiple floors. That's crazy. Gonna have the cameras too. But it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool, looks pretty cool. Cool. Sorry, getting distracted again. Do. There's just so many Discord messages. All right, back to paying attention. Oh, is the intern done maybe? No. Put him down here. So we were talking about making the system for spawning with a quirk. Shoo. Let me try to do that real quick. I say real quick, but it might take a little longer. Also, there's lots of stuff in here. Ooh, there's lots of stuff. I can go through and organize all this. But pretty much, it's going to happen when the player shows up for the first time. So I think inside of the stamina helper, I have not the stamina helper, the tick. No, not the tick. Where did I put it? I want to put it in events. Nope. Capabilities, events. Server event handler. It's on server started, on entity join layer, on player logged in. So on entity join level, this is on player logged in. I think, because with my stamina system, I set it up. I just got to remember where it is. It's not in stamina properties. Stamina properties. I just said it's not there, and I did it. First things first. Here we go. Ran on the player's first login. So I just got to find where this is used. Here we go. On player login. Inside of the player event handler. Who would have thought? Why didn't I see that? Where's that at? It's not in events. It is in events. I'm just blind. Oh, it was because it's blue. I didn't see it. Until now, what was the hardest thing to code in the MHA add-on? It's probably the Black Whip. After the stream is done, I want to look back for the quick Black Whip showcase. I can show it again. I can show it again since you weren't paying attention. Summon the Warden. Whip. Check that out. He's whipped. And I can lift him around. Whoa. And drop him. And now he's stuck. Come here. Boop. You can take the Warden for a ride if you wanted to. Just take him on up. Up we go. And drop him. Yeah, I do like how it ended up turning out. It is a little weird with the location of it, but whatever. See, if you get Flight and Black Whip, you can kill anything. Cause like you just bring them up here. Say goodbye, Warden. Enjoy your flight. Boop. Bye. And he's dead. He's not dead. How much health does he have? I probably do. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's just tanky. There's no actual whipping, so you cannot do that, unfortunately. I didn't want it to do damage. I thought about trying to make it do damage, but I decided against it. Come with me, Warden. Over here. But yeah, you can drag. There's all sorts of abilities. All sorts of them. Like 2 pages of abilities. Can you grab more than one entity? I don't want to spoil it for you. So I'm not going to spoil it for you, okay? Not gonna spoil it. Hey, no fighting, you two. Come here. You stay over there. Relax. The intern sure is doing a lot of work. Boop, 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 boop. Detach. It's too far away to detach. There we go. Boop. There you go. You got your showcase. Oh yeah, I was doing this. Player event handler. So on player logged in, we check if they have been initialized. And this is where I give them the 2 powers. So they'll get the base quirk, they'll get the body status, and they would also get the gene quirk, but we're not doing that now. Technically, you can use it for letting mobs receive fall damage, can't you? Yes, but you would need to... And it does have an attack. You'll see in the showcase video. But you would have to have some sort of ability that gets you into the sky. So a float, combination float, and that is good, but I also hope the devlog comes out soon. We'll see how much procrastinating I do on the old SMP, you know? I just love wasting time. Speaking of wasting time, just tried to scroll Instagram Reels. All right, so if it's initialized, we need to give them a quirk. So we're gonna do quirk randomizer dot give random quirk to the player. So we need to define this. We're going to do this as a system, I guess. New Java class, call it quirk randomizer. And inside of here, this is going to be a static class because we don't really want it to... Just kidding. It's going to be a regular class with static commands because we don't want it to... We don't need it to be initialized. So we're going to do public static void. What did I name it? Give random quirk. Quirk. We're gonna have in the server player, which basically just says we are going to accept a server player as an argument. And the intern's almost done. The idea here is does a weighted randomization of the power of the quirks, giving them a power. And now when I say weighted, this is actually going to be unweighted right now because I don't have... I think in the future I'm going to make it either data packs or a config for the percent chance that you can get the quirks. For now, we're literally just going to do... We're going to create a new random number. So we're going to import this just to show you quick and how easy it is. And then what we do is to give the power, or give a person a power, we have to use .add superpower with the resource location. But for me, I don't have those resource locations because it could be anywhere. So I need to come up with some sort of system to register all of the quirks that were added. That's interesting. I need to think about that. It's going to have to be a Cube.js expose thing, actually, because if they don't register it correctly... Okay, yeah, so the plan will be to create a method that devs can run to register their quirks. And then randomly choose through the list of registered. And then apply the power. Can I release the beta? No, it's not done. Intern's done, though. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see if the intern did it. Intern. Disconnect. Play. F5. So if the intern is allegedly working correctly, what it should have done is changed this so it actually checks correctly. So it does title, it does icon description. So this is no longer checking for the condition, which is good. This should be checking the condition. If we go into here, Palladium not. Okay, it is. But this isn't. Okay, conditions need a little work. Conditions need a little work, but these commands are good. And if I do test underscore value, and we do C. Okay, if I do N for not or A for ability. Okay, so now it's only suggesting things inside of the abilities.html, which is great. Okay, so that fixed that issue. And this also should now, yeah, type doesn't need because type is type. So that's fine. Okay, good. All right, intern, good job. You're working wonders. Examples. No, we don't need the examples. Let me add this to the get ignore. Add to get ignore. Ignore folder. Examples. Let's see. All it did was register those things, which is good. So now it's only checking those two files good, or as well. And then for the server changes, it just went through and basically added a bunch of, or should have just added a bunch of conditions to say if, or determine the scope of where we are. So if we're inside an ability or if we are inside of a conditions section. And if we're inside of a conditions, we have two separate things here, which is kind of exactly what I wanted. So that's good. All right. The other things we need to do, if we open up Obsidian, create notes, things to implement in extension. So we got this here. We're just going to make a list real quick of things that it needs to do. So we need condition autocomplete or tab insert. Inside of a condition scope, show the autocompletion for adding the different conditions and their parameters. We also need show a list of the value the abilities / conditions when defining a new ability. And so what I mean by this is if we have, for example, if I do new ability and then do this, then the autocomplete goes here like that. So I needed to do that. Why is this? Ooh, that's some weird tabbing. We need a quick insert for new power.json file. And this would just be using the command palette. If you don't know, in VS Code, the command palette is Control-Shift-P. It's this thing here. And so adding a command to say, like, new power and then it would create a brand new power file with all of the stuff in it that you needed. So this. What I should also add in is checking. It's just going to be black whip. What I should also do is add in a check here. Oops. Error checking for ability types. Ability types, condition types, parameters. Or I guess they're called fields. I don't actually know what they're called in that. But this would be for these. So if I spell icon wrong, I expect it to go red and say icon doesn't exist for this ability. Because that's another thing, too, that a lot of people have issues with is spelling things. Crazy, I know, but if we can have them, if it shows a little red squiggle line, error catching, you should say, then that would be really useful. Let's see. Oops. What other things would be useful in a Palladium extension? I know that not a lot of you actually do it, so I wouldn't know. Or you wouldn't know. I mean, there's Cube.js things, but we're going to focus mostly on this. Yeah, we'll try to do these three things here. Try to do these three. How long have I been streaming for today? How long has it been? It's only been... Has it been 2 hours? It has been 2.5 hours. Time sure flies when you're having fun, huh? Let's do... I'm going to add in the... Wait. Let me get rid of test command here. I had a lot of test stuff. I'll make sure I delete it all. The other one down here. Nope. Where's the other test? Kind of just flies when you chat with people. That's true. True. To add a new palette command. This is called new power, and it will add in a new power.json file after prompting the... You're working on a project that doesn't have a time constraint on it. That too. The name. What things would we prompt them for? We want the name. The background we just leave. The icon we leave. The GUI display. Which is any string of the GUI display type, which is either tree or list. It's like this, and then we need to grab this. Copy to new file, temp.json. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna go this. Delete the energy bars because we don't need it. We're gonna just say white wool, persistent data true, name is name. Yeah, that's a good starting ability. So we're gonna pass that to this. Boop. Okay. Got the intern working on that next one while I work on this. So yeah, we need to create a method for developers to register their quirk. So we're going to do a public static void register quirk. And we need the quirk, a string for the quirk name, quirk resource ID. And what I'm going to do with this is with this Cube.js bindings, I can actually do event.add and we'll do quirk. I guess quirk registry maybe. And we do new quirk randomizer. What this will do is it'll expose it to Cube.js and then they can call this method. Because we want them to be able to do that in order to register. Because the thing is, they send in the ID. So, for example, the ID would equal like bandits. Actually, it would be like BQL, like Black Whip, like this. So they're gonna pass this into here, and then we just take that and register it together. So inside of, I think, this guy. Systems. Actually, no, inside of quirk randomizer, maybe. We do a public static final registry object. And it could be a set. We'll do set. Set of resource location. And we'll call this quirks equals new hash set. Wait. I can't do that because it grows. So I guess we'll do a list, I guess. It's not the end of the world. List quirks equals quirks. New, we'll just do an array list. Well, there's probably faster ones, but whatever. But when we pull this in, we try to do quirks dot add. Oh, I spelled quirks wrong. Quirks dot add, and then we're going to add in the resource location. We need to do resource location dot parse, and then the quirk resource ID. This is not foolproof though, so we're going to throw in a try catch around it in order to try and catch the any problems that come in. And in this case, it's going to be logger.error invalid resource ID. Oh no, attempted to register invalid quirk resource ID. Resource. And then we put in a quote like this, and then we do the quirk resource ID. So the idea is that they register all of the quirks here, and then we go through and we give them a random one. This one is not going to have any of the duplicate stuff yet, but we can literally do superpower util.add superpower to the player, and then we can do the quirks.get, and then we do random.nextInt in the bounds of quirks dot get dot length size. And next int should be, actually, if we do 0 to the size -1 to prevent issues. But now it's basically saying, okay, we're going to give them the superpower of just choose a random number between 0 and the length of this thing. So how many quirks are registered. And then when it finds that, it will place it in, and it'll be all good. We do need, though, to... We do need to... Do we need an extra check there? No. But we do need to register our quirks, which is going to be done through, again, the Cube.js thing, which I already did here. So I'll have to build this and then stick it into the file, but the intern's done for this next change, so let's see if it works. Let's hit stop and let's hit restart. F5. What it should have done is added in a new command palette command, and it's going to create a new power for us. So if we delete this, remove the cycling bin, I do Control-Shift-P to open this up, and then I do create power. There we go, Palladium, new power. Enter the display name for the power. So we're going to say test power. Then you can choose if it's a tree or a list. So we'll use tree. And there we go. It created a new test power, which is pretty neat. The only problem with this is that it is in the wrong folder. So we don't want that. We just got to change where it goes. So that shouldn't be too bad. I think it should be in the server here. If we do this and search for power, create power. Where did it put it? It put it in, oh, it's in the client because it's a, there we go, register new power command. Palladium.power, name cannot be empty. It does those two. File name, target URI is where we're going to put it. So we need to change this. Instead of being in the workspace folder.uri, we need to put it inside of this powers folder, which is in data. Which is in add-on packs. The name of the add-on pack. It needs to locate the powers.json file. I suppose it could ask, I could just set it to ask for the ID. So we do const mod ID. And then we do in await vscode.window.show input box. And this is going to be the title. Oops. Title is, oh, no quotes. It's just title. Title equals mod ID. And prompt, no, that prompt is enter your add-ons ID. And placeholder will just be we'll just say mod ID, I guess. And then we'll steal the validate input thing here. It's just a little lambda function, which a lambda function is just a function without a full function header. It's like an inline function. So it's saying give it the value that we put in, or that the user puts in, and then pass it into this little function. And all this does is check if it's null, or if it's valid, and if it is actual like characters. So if you trim out the excess spaces and the trailing and leading white space, if it still has stuff afterwards, then it's good to go. Otherwise, it will give an error and say the name can't be empty. But even after that, we still then check if the mod ID doesn't exist, or if they didn't give us a good one. And this should be mod ID like that, actually. But if they didn't give us a good one, then return. Because, well, we can't do anything without a good mod ID. And then from the file, or from the target URI, which is the location of it, we need to add in the path here. So if we join path, does this accept more than one argument? It does. So this is doing the workspace.uri. And then I think we can do here. Can I do this? The workspace.uri is the type of the folder. So where it put it, ours was in the root of the folder. So we need it to be inside of, well, we can't, because we don't know the name of the add-on pack. Because if they have multiple add-on packs, it won't know where to put it. And if it doesn't know where to put it, it would give up. So I guess I have to crawl the folders, crawl everything inside of add-on, and look for, or in add-on packs, I guess, and look for the mineHA, or whatever mod ID. Okay, let me write that down. It is getting to the point where I need to go eat something, so I think we're going to come to a close here soon, or very shortly. I just need to write this down so I don't forget. So we need to scale or traverse the file tree and locate the add-on pack slash, I guess it's the data slash mod ID folder, and there place the power. Basically, we gotta just find the right spot to put it. In fact, I'll even put a to-do. Interesting. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for what I'm going to do today. It was a shorter, well, 2.5 hours isn't really short, but I'll keep on working on this. The devlog for Blackwhip will be up sometime this week, I'm sure of it. But in the meantime, what we did was we worked on essentially autocomplete for Palladium. So getting in all of the abilities that you can use, and viewing the documentation on some of these things right inside of your folder. So that's going to be really great, especially the autocomplete. Offline, I'm going to be working on making the error checking. So checking if you misspell any of these fields, putting a red little squiggly. And what else am I doing? I already forgot. Oh, the handling the conditions better, so that you can easily say, I want to add unlocking conditions, enabling conditions, etc. And then did that. Yeah, basically just the error checking in the conditions now. So this is actually this is going to be pretty useful. And once I have this, I actually feel way more comfortable maybe teaching or making videos about Palladium on how to do it. So I'll kind of keep that in mind. I'll give it to someone that I'm currently teaching and see how they do with it. But yeah, that's actually pretty good. Well, I would like to thank everyone for coming in and lurking, watching me type and code and whatnot. I guess I will talk to everyone later. And hope you all have a great rest of your day. You too, Mr. Moo. You too. See everyone later. Bye.